Welcome to Eventful Endeavors, secrets to crafting the perfect celebration. If you're planning an event and looking for useful tips from industry experts, you're in the right place. So get ready to take some notes and we'll dive right in. This is Eventful Endeavors.
Hey everybody, this is Nate with Felix and Fingers Dueling Pianos. I'm here with the lovely Stacy Krick. She's a catering director for White Manor Country Club. She's been in her current role for about 15 years and has extensive experience helping folks realize their wedding and event dreams. She credits her success to her client and experience-forward approach, and it's actually, looking forward to it. It's going to be an absolute pleasure to spend a few minutes with her here today. Hello, Stacy.
Thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. Great to be here.
I'm so excited about this. So first, I'll ask, how are you doing today? How's your Monday going?
Fabulous. It's soaking wet outside, but I kind of joke that once we have rain on a tour date or, this in advance, knock on wood, we won't have that on your wedding day.
Absolutely. So what I want to do is I want to just talk a little bit about the industry, talk a little bit about White Manor, and honestly learn a little bit more about you. Let's start with the industry. So I always love asking this question because I feel like I get great answers. But tell me about, are there any really cool trends that you've been seeing in the wedding or event industry? Anything that's you've seen recently brought into White Manor that's sort of unique but really fun?
Absolutely. Trends have, change year to year when it comes to like decor ideas and things like that. It's a little less barn and rustic and more just simple elegance, lots of rose, blushes, lots of candlelight, which we do allow. Just really makes the ambiance wonderful. And there's, I've kind of seen it all when you do this for 15 years.
Oh yeah. And I've actually noticed that too. This seems like there's a lot more romance being brought back in. There's kind of an ebb and flow to these things, and that's just really, really cool.
Yeah, make it your own,
What's that?
To make it your own, it's
Oh
your
yeah.
day. Make it, there's no set thing that you have to do, get creative.
Awesome. So you mentioned that you've been doing this for a number of years. I'm going to ask sort of an adjacent question. What is like the most unique thing that you've seen at like a wedding or event? Is there something that's just way out there crazy? I'd love to hear about it.
Absolutely. This was actually in North Carolina. We had stilt walkers, fireworks, a dance performance, on a ring, 8-tier cake. It was just probably the
Wait,
most extensive wedding we
this
ever did and had so much fun doing it.
was, that
Stilt
is
walkers,
absolutely wild. Um,
dragging the candy bar.
wow, that's so cool. I mean, the thing that caught me was like the fire dancers and stilt walkers. I would never think about that for a wedding, but that's such a cool
hmm
idea.
Yeah, it's to entertain your guests.
So let's move into a little bit like the more individual stuff with White Manor. I guess tell me a little bit about White Manor itself. Like, what is sort of the special, unique thing that you find, attracts people to the space or that you find attractive about White Manor?
I think the best thing that I hear a lot is that we have wonderful spaces to go from ceremony to cocktail hour to ballroom, all
Hmm.
separate spaces, but yet still keeps all your guests together. It's a really
Yeah.
great flow. But the most exciting part recently is a huge renovation to our
Oh,
lobby, a new groom's room that has a simulator space and some upgraded bridal dressing suites available and, as an option. So that's probably the most exciting part right now is the renovation that we're going under. It's bright, beautiful, modern, country chic country club.
that's awesome. And so if the groom is a golf fan like yours truly or a little bit sporty, the sim, that's so
Yes,
cool.
yes.
That's such a neat
The
idea.
groom lounge with a fireplace, obviously some service to bring food and drinks throughout the day,
That's
and
so
two
neat.
simulator bays. Yes.
Okay. Um, and so tell me a little bit about what folks should know if they're going to book White Manor. Like, tell me, is there a specific amount of time out? Is there anything they should know about, whether it be sort of limitations or maybe something that you guys offer that a lot of others don't that they definitely should know going in?
Sure. I guess the timeline would be if it's a Saturday in season, I would definitely start looking and booking now. But
Mhm.
I've booked a 300-person wedding in 30 days. So yes, but
Wow.
definitely if it's a Saturday, let's start talking now and come meet with me.
Yeah.
Um, The deposit's easy. It's just $1,500 to lock in the date. We only have minimums on Saturdays in season. And then you have till 10 days before to give me that final count. But we have
So
all kinds of planning meetings, tastings in between, and we literally walk you through every step of the way.
awesome. And so for those who may not know, what the season is in the area, when you say like, if you're wanting for this season, say like I'm 2024, what does that season look like? What is the busy time, so to speak?
April, May, June, September, October, November.
Okay. So spring and fall. So if you're looking
Yes.
for fall this year, get on it.
Yes. Come see me. Absolutely. In October with those pictures out on the golf course, spectacular.
Awesome. So, when we actually talked a little bit before this, and you were telling me about something kind of special that's coming up at White Manor on April 14th. You have something special for folks planning their wedding. Can you tell me a
We
little bit
sure
about
do.
that?
Wedding or any event. It's our Wedding and Events Expo, April 14th from 12 to 4. And don't worry, the Masters will be streaming in the bar. Masters Sunday.
Fair.
And
Okay.
we have 14 vendors from photographers, bakers, videographers, planners, decorators, florists.
Amazing.
So a lot to learn and see. You can meet with me, tour the venue, and then also like one-stop shop, meet all the vendors that we work with that you're not required to use. We have recommended vendors, but we just like to take off that big cloud of, oh gosh, where do I begin?
Yeah.
And recommend the ones that we have vetted and love to work with
Yeah,
and
we
recommend.
we have the pleasure of working with a lot of couples that go through this process, and I will say from a outside perspective, when I introduce myself to folks who have been through something like this, like what you're doing at White Manor, I can already tell they're a little less stressed because they've got a lot of really great ideas and concepts of what they're going to go with. It really helps with planning, even if they only book one or two vendors or their venue from that kind of event.
I hear that a
Oh,
lot after the end of the meeting. It's like, oh, I feel so much better now.
awesome, awesome. And so, I want to shift gears and talk a little bit about maybe some advice for folks planning weddings. I always am at risk of sounding a little too negative here, but I love this question because I feel like I get a lot of funny answers. So tell me about like something that a client or couple should maybe never do. Cringeworthy things that are like, oh, maybe we shouldn't have done that kind of thing. What have you seen that you're like, maybe I should instruct folks to avoid this?
Yes, thank you. It's a very good question. They're like, what should I do? Or should I do this? Should I not do that? Um, it's always, making their dreams come true. It's whatever they want
Mhm.
is what's going to make it special. But what I cringe about is if I see that they're wasting money.
Mhm.
Don't spend a ton on monogrammed, favors that people aren't going to use. They're not going to stick around. People are more opting to do like a late night snack or an after party, things like that, or even a customized dessert to go.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
that won't go
Okay.
to waste.
No, no. And as someone who is often performing for the reception and a lot of dinner, those after party snacks are awesome.
Soak it up.
So you mentioned like, there's like monogram towels and a couple of things like napkins and things like that you find that are sort of, I don't want to say less important, but are, let's say, less memorable to the guests and things like that, which is part of why you and I connected talking about that experience. We're wanting to create something that folks talk about years down the road. If you were to say there were like a couple, two, three things that you say definitely we want to get perfectly right, that are like those things that really truly matter more than some of the other minor elements, what would those things be?
hmm You want that wow factor. So we keep a close eye on timeline. Some like it
Mhm.
like to the minute, and some are like, no, let's just go with the flow. So we just have that understanding. But the look of the room, when people go from cocktail hour into the ballroom, the food, the music, and the drink is what people's going to remember. People on that dance floor, making it a fun event, but also beautiful.
Yeah. The food and drink, always important.
hmm
The food with the drink.
Yeah.
And I gotta say,
Sometimes I end up on that dance floor. I get so close to the families. They're like, come on, get here.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm looking forward at our next event to seeing you out there.
Hmm.
I gotta say, your second point there with the music, I couldn't agree more. I'm totally biased, but absolutely. So, as far as like journey, I know we talked a little bit about some of the cringier stuff, but what is what would you say is like a crucial piece of advice for somebody just getting started planning, whether it be a fundraiser, a corporate event, a wedding, something like that? What would be that very first piece of advice that you would give to somebody?
Take a deep breath. It's okay. We got this. One step at a time. Work your plan your work. Or plan your work your plan.
Plan
Yep.
your work your plan. I love that. I
Hmm.
love that.
Yeah. Don't let it be this big cloud. Oh my God, I have to plan all this stuff. So many things to do. It's like, let's just take it step by step. Here's a guideline.
Amazing. So I want to circle back just one last time and talk a little bit about White Manor. So we talked about time frame for booking. Are there any other vital clues that you want to give to our viewers about like booking with you all? Is there a special space? Is there a unique element or an option that, a lot of folks don't consider, but you're like, you're missing out? Anything like that?
Keep in mind, when people say, can you just send me your packages and pricing? I'm like, I always like, I want to be able to sit down and plan and know that people can customize anything with us. It's your
Yeah.
day. We're going to change, modify, add, take out anything that they need to make it their own.
Yeah. And Stacy, full disclosure, that's part of why I wanted to bring you on here. We totally see eye to eye on that with that like personalization and getting to know folks. I mean, yes, a wedding or a corporate event, often it's just a one day thing, but the process getting there takes time, and getting to know the people you're working with and that are helping you put together the madness.
And
um,
we know, it might take months, weeks, however long to plan an event, but literally we have one day to get it right. To your point,
yeah,
that could be one evening or just a few hours of an event, but it's memories to last a lifetime. We get one day to get it right, and we do.
awesome. And so, Stacy, I'm going to ask, what is White Manor aside? What is something that folks who are maybe interested in White Manor should know about you? What is something that you'd like someone coming in to learn about Stacy ahead of time?
Well, on my email signature, it's catering sales director, but
Hmm.
boring. I literally have a title that I've had for 15 years. Somebody told me, you're always happy, you're always smiling. So I have an assigned title of Director of Happiness. And
I love
it
that.
sounds kind of corny, but it's so true, that I take it very seriously, that I'm directing everybody's happiness and make sure things go right and stress free. And like I said, I take it very seriously.
I love that. So you're serious smiles.
Yeah.
Serious about the smiles. I won't trademark that. You can have that. Awesome.
Love it.
Well, Stacy, it's always a pleasure getting to know you. I'm super excited to get this stuff out there and share all about White Manor, share all about Stacy Krick. Before we hop off here, is there anything else you want to share at all? Is there anything else you want to bring up and talk about?
Well, I have to say, it's not just about Stacy Krick. It's about an entire team that is behind everything going on to make sure the execution is perfect. And I have such a fabulous team, from our general manager, clubhouse manager, our coordinator, all the way down to the entire service staff. So I can't
It's
take all
amazing.
the credit.
Well, I mean, you could, but yeah, probably best that share the love a little bit.
Yes.
Well, for those of you out there watching, definitely talk to Stacy if you're planning your event. They are in a lovely area just outside of Philly, and we are excited about our next event with them. And I hope that we will maybe get to share an event for you guys.
Yes,
So,
please. Look forward to it.
thank you so much, Stacy. It's been an absolute joy, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Nate. Take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Eventful Endeavors, Secrets to Crafting the Perfect Celebration. We hope to have left you with some actionable ideas for your own event. If you like the show, please subscribe and definitely leave us a review. We read every comment. So until next time, happy planning and see you soon on Eventful Endeavors.